Elon Musk loves to stay smack dab in the middle of the news, doesn't he? It seems that his SpaceX Starship is the reason behind the latest news. The latest on all this seems to be the delay from the Federal Aviation Administration on the final environmental decision on Musk's latest toy. Let's catch up with all we know so far about the delay. First up, FAA delays environmental decision again. At this point, it shouldn't be surprising. It makes us think about whether the bureaucracy and the administration of every country are slow, or is it just the US? Simple things tend to take so much time, and even though an environmental decision on a Starship isn't exactly simple, it shouldn't be taking that much time, especially when they've been delaying it again and again. If it's not ready, just wait to bring it in. And if the application has been submitted, just do what's required. But of course, it's not that easy. It never is with these things. The environmental decision has to be properly reviewed, and it can't be rushed. But it's being delayed for a second time now. The FAA pushed it back for the first time in April and extended the target to the 31st of May, saying the project was working toward issuing the final programmatic environmental assessment. Then on the 1st of June, they decided to push it back for another couple of weeks and explained how the decision would be taken on the 13th of June. This time, the FAA said that the SpaceX had made multiple changes to its application and that it would require additional FAA analysis. Yeah, just say you're a lazy lot and go. There's just no reason for delaying it 4 times, and for a decision that should have been taken in 2021 has somehow dragged to the mid of June. We're closer to 2023 than we're to 2021 at this point, but that's not the last we heard about the decision. Next up, FAA gives the go-ahead. Yeah, that's right. All the SpaceX and Musk fans should be rejoicing because the FAA has finally, after so many months of delay, given the qualified nod to the Starship. Everyone should be concerned about the environment, and this obviously doesn't mean that the SpaceX with their Starship launch won't be harming the environment, but we'll get to that later. The final verdict given by the FAA means that the path is pretty much clear for Starship to be launched from its Starbase in Boca Chica, Texas. Although they still need to address 75 necessary environmental impact mitigation actions, and without that, they can't carry out the launch. These actions will include a reduction in the noise during the launch, protecting the air quality and also the water quality, among many other things. It's fairly simple. You fill out the following objectives and you're allowed to go. With the launch set to take place sometime in 2023, SpaceX engineers will be working hard, maybe even overtime, to ensure that the 75 objectives are met. We hope Musk is paying them well, and it's not like some of his other businesses. But all in all, things seem to be looking bright for the Starship, a mirror-like stainless steel-skinned, reusable spacecraft, which plans to replace the current fleet of Dragon spacecraft. It's great news for NASA too, because Starship will be able to take their astronauts to the moon, something that Musk hasn't been able to do for his Dogecoin. Now for the environmental impact of Starship's launch. Authorities and the Go Green lot were very much concerned with Starship's launch. More than 17,000 comments were recorded and released by the FAA that raised concerns over the impact of the project and how it would affect a number of environmental aspects. These included the harmful direct impact on migratory birds in and around the Texas area, and a potential danger to many of the endangered species, not to mention the obvious concerns to the nearby wildlife refuge. Even if the launch and its debris don't directly affect the wildlife and animals, the vibrations and the noise can cause a lot of damage to all the life closer to the Starbase. Even the residents of Port Isabel, Texas, issued a letter in November raising their concerns over the potential impact of noise, vibration, and overpressure. Well, our thoughts and prayers are with that lot. They've got to deal with so much on a regular basis, it must be very hard. The community also asked the FAA to limit the number of launches every year and impose a possible restriction on the time and conditions in which they were allowed. It's a perfectly reasonable demand, and it should be high in the priority list of the FAA and SpaceX too. So will the Starship launch happen? Well, at this point in time, it seems very likely that the launch will happen. It won't be very straightforward because there's a long list of actions that SpaceX needs to tick off before going for it. Considering the wide-scale launch impacts, the FAA has been working closely with the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Services and many other concerned authorities to ensure that the launch doesn't have a negative impact on anyone or anything. It's not possible to ensure a 100% green launch, but they should be able to coerce SpaceX into doing as much as possible. Given the time frame, the company still has a year to ensure these changes are in order. SpaceX's Twitter account definitely seemed to be positive about the decision, and it seems that they knew it wouldn't be an unconditional decision in any way. Elon Musk is also confident about the launch, and we hope that his team can also alleviate any possible concerns about the environment before the Starship sets off on an historic journey. The Starship could still be subject to some legal challenges, but the biggest hurdle for SpaceX was always the FAA clearance, and they've gotten that, subject to a few conditions. Next in other news, SpaceX employees fired. It's one step forward, 2 steps backward for Elon Musk these days. And if things keep going like this, he might not have enough employees to meet the 75 actions ordered by the FAA. So maybe the Go Green community shouldn't be concerned about this. This is a bad look for Elon's company. For someone who tries to be so woke and keep up with the modern day trends, we think he might just be a terrible person in real life. A letter was written by SpaceX employees asking for a more inclusive work culture and define and uniformly respond to all forms of unacceptable behavior. Seems pretty harmless harmless, doesn't it? Well, not to Elon Musk. Gwynne Shotwell, the president of SpaceX, revealed that a number of employees, at least 5 if you're wondering, were fired upon finding out that they were connected to the letter, even though the company's stance was that the decision was taken in the interest of the other employees, as the letter pressured them into signing something that they didn't believe in. Yeah, we definitely know people who would hate an inclusive work culture. And now Tesla stock keeps dropping. A very eventful year for the world's richest man has turned into a disastrous week. SpaceX's Starship has been dealt a long to-do list if they want to press ahead with the launch in 2023. Then that company also fired several employees asking for inclusivity in the work culture. And now Tesla stock keeps plummeting. It has lost half its value since peaking in November of 2021 and dropped 6% in the last week alone after investors continued the trend of selling their tech holdings. Tesla's having to contend with a majority of internal problems that don't seem to be helping them at all. This week, new issues concerning the safety of the company's advanced driver asset systems, and that does not make for a good look on Tesla. Not to mention the recent report from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, which explained that Tesla vehicles accounted for nearly 70% of reported crashes that involved advanced driver assist systems in the last year. Finally, a Dogecoin investor sues Musk for $258 billion. Yeah, it just gets worse the more you get to know about Elon Musk these days. What many people had criticized him for, an investor in Dogecoin, is pretty much proven, at least to himself. And that's why he's taking Musk to court and suing him for an illegal racketeering enterprise that inflated the price of Dogecoin. Interesting to say the least, and we hope the jury definitely looks into this one. Musk has often referred to himself as the Doge Father and loves to refer to the dog-themed cryptocurrency on Twitter. As for the investor, he complained that Dogecoin investors lost over triple the damages worth $86 billion since the world's richest man started tweeting about them. Damn, if you think about it, he wasn't the richest man in the world when he started tweeting about Doge. What if this dude is actually right? That's a wrap for this video. Do you think the Starship should be allowed to go ahead even if they can't meet all the 75 actions required? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.